bright and early in the morning. We're off to Estella, or as how they pronounce it here, it's Estella. The double L is pronounced like a Y. Here we're going down in the elevator in the hotel. This is before anybody's even awake in the hotel. We're going to go through a closed hotel. We get out on the street, and this light is just a little bit of light that you see from the street lights, and it's enhanced by the computer. We're about to go over the bridge, the Puente la Reina. It's very hard to see it, but here you see that little post there, and I'm going to show it to you what it looks like in the daylight. Here's the post in the daylight. Now we're going across the bridge, and all you see is the headlight, and you can see a little bit of the headlight showing down on it, and I'm going to show you here what it looks like in the daytime. And off we are in the night, because yesterday was so hot. We have to get going. Even though it says we only have 22 kilometers today, a lot of it is uphill. All you can really see is whatever your headlight lights up. So like you see here, I can see Peggy in the headlight, and that's basically all I can see if I don't shine it on something. Finally, the sun is starting to come up a little bit. You can see that very sharp uphill just before this first town. We're here at that first town. We walked up that very steep uphill completely in the dark. We have a nice bit of road to walk here as we're going out of the town, and you see lots of fields on the side. This is just the way it is in most of our walking. You're just out in beautiful countryside. Unlike the first few towns, they lock up their cemeteries now, so you can only look at them through the gate here. This sign is saying that we have about 15 more kilometers to get to Estella. The grapes are perfectly ripe now, so I have to try and rip a bunch of them off. They're ready to eat. trying to explain to this guy that there's a rooster right there outside the store, just running around all by itself. We are in the country. I don't just turn the camera on when we're going uphill. It seems we're going uphill a lot. And one thing about going uphill is having to stop and take a lot of rests because you're huffing and you're puffing. See, I do put the camera on once in a while when we're going downhill. It just never seems like we're going downhill as much as we go up. And we're wondering what these trees are on the left, but it looks like they're olive trees. This is a stretch of Roman road that is still here after 2,000 years. It is very, very difficult, unfortunately, to walk on. Here we're coming up on an area that's being turned into a little bit of a rest area where there's chairs and there's tables. And they have a lot of people that seem to find ways of helping out the pilgrims on these paths. Like this guy here, he's gonna sell some fruit, and when there's nobody there to sell the fruit to and drinks, he's off in the woods there working on getting the chairs and the tables set up. And there's no charge. If you don't have money, you don't pay. It is all by donation. So this guy is not getting rich doing this. The Roman road was very hard to walk on, so we've gone back onto this light gravel path. This light gravel path is so far one of the best types to walk on. It's not big gravel, just small, beautiful gravel to walk on. It's actually better than walking on the smooth road too. At least this time when we're walking right next to the highway, at least we have a barrier between us. Sometimes we don't, we just walk right on the road, but this time at least we have a barrier. We're on another ancient bridge. I can't say that this is a Roman bridge, but it really looks like it was from the time. It just doesn't look like, it doesn't have the line down the middle like the Roman bridges, but it is one beautiful old bridge. Another memorial. Don't know if someone died here or what. What was I saying about going up? It just seems you go up and up and up and up. Anyways, we're coming into a town that's got a beautiful old church that was built back in the Templars' days, but unfortunately it's closed. You see that big round church up there? That was built back in the Templars' days, so that you're talking about the 10th, 11th century. We had a long, hard climb to get up into this town called Lorca, so we went into that little cafe to stop and have lunch, and very hard to believe that we bumped right into that same guy that Peggy had met from Guelph, the architect, and we sat and had lunch with him. And after that, there was this very exhausted looking guy sitting across from us, and he was telling us his story. He's a Canadian, and he actually passed out on the Camino from being exhausted, and some French people helped him out and got an ambulance or something to get him, and he was in a monastery for a couple days trying to get his strength back, and he was just having a nice bowl of salty soup to try and get his strength back. But it's amazing. On the Camino, you're not alone. We believe the town that we're going to spend the night tonight is somewhere where I'm pointing to. It's a rather large town, so you can see quite a big sprawl up ahead. It's siesta, and you only see pets or other pilgrims out. You don't see anybody else. It's just us. Still very hard to get used to the fact that you can't see anybody. It's siesta time. That means it's in the early afternoon. The sun is beating down. It's very hot still, and we're getting very tired. We still have quite a ways to go to get to where we have to spend the night tonight in Estella. This sign shows where we're going tonight, and it also is showing Los Arcos, which we're going to go to tomorrow once we get to the Estella tonight, and then tomorrow we're off to Los Arcos. This looks like a Roman bridge with the brick going straight up the middle also. We're getting Peggy to take a picture of me. This says 643 kilometers. That doesn't really make a lot of sense compared to where we were yesterday at 692. But the measurements are kind of off a lot of times. In Spain, what we've noticed is everybody, no matter how far you've got to go, they say, oh, it's just 5 kilometers from here, maybe 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. They say it's only 5 kilometers from here. And of course, they say, oh, it's just downhill. And if you ask them what the weather's going to be like tomorrow, it's going to be sunny. So it's just a standard answer. Wherever you have to go is 5 kilometers from here. Oh, it's downhill from here, and tomorrow will be sunny. Beautiful church. It's undergoing renovations, so unfortunately we can't go in. Some tiles to show the Camino are just beautiful, embedded in the ground. This last town is supposed to be here somewhere, and okay, so we have to go under the road. We go under the road, and then we got to go over the bridge. We really thought this was supposed to just be a nice, easy downhill, but getting into this town is still taking quite a bit. One thing that's really good and bad about the Camino is this is your first time on the roads. You just don't know how far you have to go to this, to that. So you're not bored. You are definitely sometimes confused. You're not sure if you're on the right road. You're not sure how much farther you've got to go. But that's part of the excitement. Like trying to get into this town, we just seem to be going forever and ever. Go down, go up, go down, go up. Our hotel for tonight is quite a bit off the beaten path, so they've said to come to this church, give them a phone call, and they will come and they'll pick us up right at this church and then bring us basically back. So I get to just sit here on the steps and wait for them to come. It's quite a big city, and the 3 or 4 kilometers extra that it takes to get to the hotel would be very, very hard to walk right now. So they're picking us up. They're going to take us to the hotel, and then tomorrow they'll bring us right back and put us on the route here. It's a very nice hotel. They had washer and dryer to help us out with getting our laundry done, and they had air conditioning in the room, which was really nice.